I'm a professional profiler, and this is a lesson of the day on profiling. It's going to sound insane and outlandish, but it makes sense and it's pretty logical. I'm American. When this country was started, like the actual history of this country is pretty wild, and it makes sense on how we are today. And while most Americans may not like this, like it is our history and it makes logical sense because when Great Britain was colonizing the United States, they needed volunteers to come here and procreate to actually colonize the United States. They couldn't find anyone to say, yes, we're going to travel cross country to a new unknown land with a bunch of savages and indigenous. They couldn't find them. So what did Great Britain do? They went around and went to the incarcerated and told them, we will marry you off to each other. So it was incarcerated men, like the most violent offenses of like unaliving, robbery, you name it. That's what they were incarcerated for. And the women were often potatots from brothels. I can't say certain words. Women of easy virtue. I just learned that term right now. My 15-year-old sister just told me that, and I'm like, yo, why have I not said that? That's what we're going to say from now on. So women of easy virtue and incarcerated violent men, those are the ones that Great Britain said, hey, we'll not only free you, we'll pay you to go live over in the United States so that we can finish colonizing. And as a profiler, when I look at people and I'm understanding them, you bet your ass their demographic, where they came from, their family, their geography, where all of it matters into the kind of person that they are. It's not just face reading and body language and nonverbal communication that I'm able to profile. It's the whole shebang. So when people go around the world and they're like, why do people think that Americans are so silly and la da 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 da? Like, we kind of are, but it's kind of our makeup. We come from a long line of women of easy virtue and incarcerated violent men. And it's really important because if you look at the marketing and how to do sales in this country, specifically for boat people, like people descendants of Great Britain, you have to inspire them to make a decision. You don't give them a bunch of the data and the information like Japan and other countries so that the person can make the decision. In this country, you need to inspire them. You need to start with what their goals and dreams and aspirations and how it's going to make them feel. You need to start with Hollywood and the Fugazi. And like being born and raised in Hollywood, I never understood it because I come from a very multicultural background. So it's very much like other cultures where it's like, give me the data and I make the decision. So here I was like, I didn't understand. I don't make sense. I don't like it here. But it's because I don't like the Fugazi. However, in sales, I'm very good at Fugazi now because now I understand how it all works. So if you're selling to a white American or a very Americanized American, of any sort, it could be Latin, Black, whatever, Asian, you name it. But if they're very like whitewashed, you want to sell the dream first and not over bombard them with data. If you are selling to someone that is of a different culture, most likely like a strict culture, you're going to want to give them the data and be very transparent and like, yes, and respectful and like just give them that for them to make the decision. The more calm that you are and hands off, the more that they're going to want to go with you. If you're too pushy, they're going to be like, oh, they just want my money. It's just weird, but all of this matters and it does affect your sales and business, and it's a cool way of looking at it. But it is also my American history that I come from a long line of women of easy virtue and men of violent nature. And it also plays into account like the trends that we have, the way that we as women here think it's okay to dress versus other countries or other places that have other importance other than looking pretty, if that makes sense. And we also have like that trend of you gotta be alpha. Well, what is that? That's very Neanderthal, because even the alpha, the way that alpha actually works is that you're the last one. And the way that the American white man has made it here, or black man technically, because it was only one guy that was starting that whole thing, it was very, you gotta be alpha, but they were at the front. It was all about them. They didn't care about other people. What does that mean? That means you're a beta. So if you start your business or your career off of women making corn videos, that makes you a beta. That doesn't make you an alpha. that tells me you probably come from that lineage of like what I was talking about. But anyways, this is the lesson of the day, and you know what to do. I have an event on October 20th. If you would like to learn more tips and tricks to up your sales game and your marketing, and you've been feeling stuck and you're like, oh my God, why isn't this working? I'm having an event October 20th where we're going to be able to give you so much information that you can pinpoint why your stuff hasn't been working. You're probably going to want to sign up with me. Hopefully you will. I love you. Anyways, bye.